guys, it's LPS Cream Collie 78 here. So, most of you probably know me for making little princess videos, right? Especially these three. Like, how on earth did this video get 472 likes and 23,000 views?
What you are doing is straight up criminal. So just try and be original. Be your own you. Be your own you.
I wasn't even really expecting this to get so many likes and so many views. Well, a lot of you people seem to really like my Little Princess videos. I am talking about Little Princess, a character from the British animated series of the same name. Not the Russian animated series known as The Little Princess in English. You know, from the YouTube channel 4Kids TV. Oh yeah, and they even made a Little Princess video that is entirely animated by AI. Yeah, and the YouTube channel SnipeSnap has made a few videos on the Little Princess before. He even made a video comparing both the Russian and British Little Princesses. You can check it out. But anyways, in this video, I'll be talking about a brief history of the British Little Princess series. Why? It's because this show is barely talked about on YouTube, and I cannot find any other channel that talks about this show. Like what? Is the show now obscure today or something? I don't know. Probably I'll be the first ever YouTuber to make a documentary on this show, because no one else talks about it. Clearly, Little Princess is a forgotten kids show. So I did my best gathering up all the information online that talks about the British Little Princess show in order to make this video. Once again, I'll be talking about a British animated series titled Little Princess. Not the Russian animated series titled The Little Princess, or the Frances Hodgson Burnett story A Little Princess or its movie adaptations. I hope you clicked on this video if you remember watching the British Little Princess series as a kid or something. I wanted to make this video because, again, it's barely being talked about. Meanwhile, other channels are talking about forgotten and obscure movies and television series. Anyways, let's get started already.
She's a little princess. She's a little princess.
First, let's talk about Tony Ross, the man that would start it all. Tony Ross was born on August 10th, 1938. He graduated from the Liverpool College of Art. He is also best known for being the illustrator of the Horrid Henry books. Now, let's go back to the year of 1986, where he would publish his first ever Little Princess book. Long ago, Tony Ross was struggling with potty training his young daughter. These experiences would later inspire him to write a story titled, I Want My Potty.
I wrote it because I had a little baby daughter then, I wrote it after seeing her having trouble with her potty. So in a way, it's based on truth. It's when she was a little girl. I watched her on her potty and it was funny. And I watched this time and time again as she struggled on her potty. And then I thought, this could make a good children's book because it is such a funny business.
And this is how the story went. So it's about a young little princess who gets sick and tired of wearing diapers, and then her mother decides to make her use a potty instead. But the princess then throws a tantrum thinking that using a potty is worse than wearing diapers. But over time, she does get used to using her potty. Sometime later, the little princess needs to use her potty and of course shouts, "I want my potty." And then everyone in the kingdom starts to freak out and look for the princess's potty. Eventually, they find her potty and then they try to bring it to her, but she already has an accident and it was too late. And that's basically the end of the book. I mean, it ends with her having an accident. Eventually, I Want My Potty was starting to become popular, and it was becoming one of Tony Ross's most successful books that he ever wrote.
Tempo Preschool Video offers the perfect entertainment for the under fives. There's tales with unexpected twists and lots of fun in Not Now Bernard and Other Stories by David McKee. And I Want a Cat and Other Stories by Tony Ross includes the best-selling toddler classic I Want My Potty and Super Duper Jezebel. There's lots of fun for all the family.
In 1991, I Want My Potty would get a 5-minute animated short adaptation as part of the British animated miniseries called Anytime Tales.
I want my potty. Nappies are yuck, said the little princess. There must be something better. The potty's the place, said the Queen. At first, the little princess thought the potty was worse. The potty's the place, said the Queen.
The short would be released on a VHS tape titled I Want a Cat and Other Stories by Tony Ross, which was part of Abbey Home Video's Tempo Preschool collection. Besides I Want My Potty, the video featured 4 other 5-minute animated films based on Tony Ross's books, which were I Want a Cat, Oscar Got the Blame, Super Duper Jezebel, and I'm Coming to Get You. And obviously, because of the success of I Want My Potty, Tony Ross would decide to create more Little Princess books. The second book in the Little Princess series would be titled I Want to Be, and the third one would be titled I Want My Dinner, and a few others before the Little Princess show began.
How come you're big and you get to share, and I'm little and I have to sleep by myself?
You have Gilbert and Puss.
You have Mommy.
Little Princess, bring her own potty. Weekdays on Milkshake.
In October of 2006, an animated series based on the Little Princess book series made its way onto the British television network Channel 5 on its children's block Milkshake. The show featured the voice of Jane Horrocks as the voice of the little princess. Most of you probably know that she was the voice of Babs in Chicken Run.
I don't want to be a pie. I don't like gravy.
The series was also produced by the London-based Illuminated Film Company, which was founded back in 1993. Back then, the Illuminated Film Company had made animated short film adaptations based on Eric Carle's books, including The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
But he was still hungry.
The series would begin airing on Milkshake on the 9th of October of 2006, with the first ever episode being titled, I Want My Tooth. And Little Princess has aired over 130 individual episodes, with an almost 8-year-long hiatus between June of 2010 to May of 2018. That's right, an 8-year-long hiatus. Oh yeah, now it's time to talk about the main character herself, the little princess. In this show, she does tend to be a little bossy at times, and she does throw tantrums and sometimes does the wrong thing. Take the episode I Want to Be a Baby, for example.
What's wrong, sweetheart? Oh dear, she must have bumped her head.
No, I'm being a baby.
A baby? But you're a big girl now.
But I don't want to be a big girl. I want to be a baby.
Don't be silly, sweetheart.
I want to be a baby! Wah, wah, wah!
And take another episode, for example, titled I Want to Play Football, where little princess accidentally knocks down and breaks the head off of a statue of great-great-granny with her red ball.
Sweetheart, do you know what happened?
It wasn't the General's fault.
Wasn't it?
No, it was the wind.
But there isn't any wind in here, sweetheart.
No, not the wind. It was a bird. A big bird with a nasty beak.
A bird? In here?
It was a monster. A big, hairy monster with goggly eyes. And
Sweetheart?
It was a monster. It was.
But later in that same episode, little princess does apologize, and she even goes to apologize to her mother for breaking the head off of the statue from when she was playing football in the house.
No, it was me. I knocked it over because I was playing football indoors. And I'm sorry.
Oh, dear.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
You know, you should really be saying sorry to someone else, Poppet.
It wasn't a monster that brought the statue, Mummy. It was me. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you for being brave and telling me, sweetheart.
Oh.
Again, even though the little princess is a little bratty, it still tries to teach young viewers important lessons. There is another episode of Little Princess that I would like to talk about. And it's probably one of the most serious episodes of all the Little Princess series. And probably one of the most serious episodes of a preschool television series. Not long after the series premiered on Milkshake, they released an episode titled, I Want My Snail. In this episode, the little princess finds a snail while playing outside, and then she decides to take it inside and keep it. She names the little snail Speedy. Little princess loved playing with Speedy so much, and she even liked drawing pictures of him. She even tells the narrator that he can do amazing tricks, such as balancing on the potty. But later on in this episode, as when the little princess was talking to the prime minister, she wasn't looking where she was going, and then she accidentally steps on Speedy. Yeah, she steps on Speedy on accident, crushing him and killing him.
About... Oh. Speedy?
Oh no.
Little princess starts crying, and oh yeah, she says the word kill. This episode uses the word kill 3 times. Yes, the word kill in a preschool show.
I killed him. I killed him.
To me, the word kill is kind of a strong word. It's kind of such a strong word, and I cannot really think of another preschool animated show that has used that word before in an episode.
Well, it was an accident.
I still killed him.
But of course it was just an accident. She didn't mean to step on Speedy on purpose. And well, in the end of the episode, everyone in the castle decides to throw a funeral for Speedy.
Speedy was, he was a good friend and a great gymnast.
I am still surprised that no one even talks about this episode of the show. Of course, again, no one talks about this show. Heck, no one even talks about the merchandise. Why not talk about the merchandise? I'm going to be talking about some of the forgotten, obscure merchandise of this forgotten show. We really need to... come on. Come on, people. I hope some of you remember this show as a kid or something, or you're like, hey, that's the show with the little princess and everything who lives in a castle with her friends and family, 'cause that's the show I'm talking about. Back in April of 2025, I have already posted a video showing images of some forgotten Little Princess merchandise, which included plush dolls, figurines, and even that obscure castle playset. Look at it! There were figurines of the princess, king, queen, and the general. And I even have this old little princess plush from 2008 that I got back in February of 2025. And I have shown you her a few times on my channel and community posts before. Alright, let's now talk about the Little Princess I Want to Play app. I Want to Play was released back in 2011. The app featured 4 different mini-games, which included Dress Up, where you can give the little princess different outfits and give her different accessories. Pairs, which is like a card matching game. Bunny Bop, which is like whack-a-mole, but you tap rabbits that come out of the holes. And Bath Time, where you get to give little princess's pet cat and dog, Puss and Scruff, a bath and pop the bubbles. Alright guys, I am now going to be talking about what is probably the most obscure looking piece of Little Princess media of all time. I mean, it exists, really, but like, no one even talks about it. I am talking about a Little Princess spin-off that exists, but no one even talks about it. So, do you know or remember the show Rugrats? It's a cartoon from the 1990s, that aired on Nickelodeon. It featured the main characters depicted as babies and toddlers, right? Well, in 2003, Rugrats has gotten a spin-off titled All Grown Up, which ran until 2008 and featured the original main cast of characters from the original show, now depicted as adolescents in middle school. The Not-So-Little Princess is just like that. I have actually already made a short video talking about the Not-So-Little Princess books back in December of 2024, where I had explained and told everyone that there was a Little Princess spin-off series that no one has ever heard of or even talked about, titled The Not-So-Little Princess, and blah 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 blah, and it featured the same character. Yes, the same Little Princess character from the original Tony Ross books and television series of the same name, but now she's older, she's taller, she's got longer hair, and she now wears blue jeans and pink sneakers. Here's a side-by-side comparison between the younger Little Princess and the older Little Princess. The Not-So-Little Princess series was written by Wendy Finney. But of course, Tony Ross himself had also helped work on this series. Of course, he did the illustrations. And yeah, I mean, all the characters, including the princess herself, these characters were created by Tony Ross. I mean, he has to be the illustrator. He's got to. He has to. Oh, yeah. And there were 4 different books in the Not-So-Little Princess series, published between the years of 2014 to 2017. The first book in the series being titled What's My Name? The second book in the series being titled Where's Gilbert? The third book in the series being titled Best Friends? And the fourth and final book being titled Spooky Night. I have all 4 books of the Not-So-Little Princess series. And here they are. We got What's My Name? Best Friends? Where's Gilbert? And of course, Spooky Night. Look, it's literal proof that it's the same princess character. Look. Her mom and dad, the king and queen, it's the same character. She's older. Clearly, it's a spin-off. Oh yeah, we really need to talk about the book What's My Name? So important. I mean, it's really important for this video, and I really need to talk about it. So, if you've been reading the original Little Princess books or been watching the television series, you were probably thinking or wondering, like, what is the Little Princess's real name? They just call her Little Princess. Like, what's her real name? This book actually reveals some lore behind her real name. And, like, it reveals her full real name. The Little Princess's real name is Rosie. That's right. Rosie is her real name. So in the book, What's My Name? The king talks about how the little princess has grown and reached a certain age, and thinks that now is the time for everyone in the kingdom to now start calling the princess by her real name. However, the queen thinks it wasn't really a good idea at all, because according to her, the little princess was named after the old duchess. Apparently, the Duchess had an awful and ugly name, and like, everyone is scared of it. Oh yeah, and it turns out that the princess was eavesdropping on their conversation, and she wanted to find out what her real name was. But then everyone hides from her, so the princess decides to go everywhere around the castle looking for everyone. The maid, the admiral, the general, the doctor, the gardener, and asking each of them what her real name is, but they all just refuse to tell her until near the end of the story, the king or her father finally tells her her full real name. Her full real name is Princess Rubella Ovaltina Saliva Ignacia Eglantine III. Or is it saliva? Did I mispronounce it? I really don't know if it's either saliva or saliva. I'm just gonna leave it as saliva. I don't know about saliva. You know what? Maybe could be saliva since everyone says that it is an ugly, awful name. And then the princess starts screaming and crying after hearing what her full name is until we're not done yet. She points out that the first letter of each name is spelled out as R-O-S-I-E. You know, like an acronym or something. R-O-S-I-E, or Rosie for short. The first letters of each of her names put together as Rosie. And the story ends here. And there you have it. I think I'm going to have to end the video here now because this video, it's almost 30 minutes long and probably one of the longest videos ever that I put on my channel. All I wanted to do was do some research and gather some information in order to make this long video talking about an underrated children's show and book series. Say what you want about this show, but come on. There are some people out there that have fond memories of this show. And obviously they had to enjoy watching Little Princess when they were kids themselves. Hopefully more YouTubers will make videos talking about Little Princess. Once again, it all really started when the creator, Tony Ross, was just having a little bit of potty training struggles. It inspired Tony Ross to create the Little Princess and write his first ever Little Princess book, and later make more Little Princess books, and then get its own television series adaptation. The main character can be a bit annoying, but I know myself, some people out there, probably you watching this, if you remember this show, I bet you do remember Little Princess. Whether you have read the books or watched the television series. As of now, of 2025, it has almost been 40 whole years since Little Princess has made her first ever debut. Let me know in the comments section below and tell me. Please tell me if you have heard or know about Little Princess. I would really appreciate it. This video was long, but I tried my best explaining a brief history of Little Princess, talking about how she was created and how she would get her own television series and stuff. And of course, because this video I made here is half an hour long, it took quite a while for it to save and upload, just so you know. Little Princess may be a forgotten franchise, but I made this video to make sure it doesn't get forgotten forever. Thank you for watching this somewhat of a documentary of Little Princess or something. I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, I appreciate it if you leave a nice comment below the video. And I hope all of you have a good rest of the day or night.